Hey, this is Samantha once again. What about another video? This is another paid request, this time for Sean. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, reviews, topics, randomness, or whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the 2019 film Abominable, which I had never heard of before, but this came out from DreamWorks and seemed like a big flop. But at the same time, something must have caught on because they actually got a TV show which got to about 2 seasons, and some of the voice casts actually returned for the show, from the movie to the show. But this is a film that came out and, again, didn't seem like it made much money in the US, so maybe overseas or other avenues it made some change. And pretty much this is sort of a take on How to Train Your Dragon, where you have a kid and this big magical animal and the bond they share with each other as they're going on this journey. In this case, it's in Shanghai. This girl's living with her mom and her grandma. Her dad's passed away. She misses her dad. There's a trip that they were going to take that they never did, so she's saving up money, doing odds and ends, walking the dogs, taking the trash out, being a babysitter till she wants to do this trip. And after the death of her dad, she's been very much enclosed. She doesn't have time for her mom and grandma. She's always busy trying to get stuff done. Until one day she's on the roof and finds this Yeti, who she nicknames Everest because he's attracted to this billboard. And when the listener realizes its home is in Everest. So with her and her two friends, one is the younger one, and his older brother is very much about his hair and is about his shoes, and the younger one is the more kid-friendly of the three, gets along with the Yeti, like plays around like they're both kids. And the three decide to go on this journey. Meanwhile, they're chased by mainly two individuals. One is a guy voiced by Izzard that wants the animal because it's a rare animal, and then this girl who's an animal lover. I didn't mind the twist that they had with that, which I'll get to. And yeah, it's pretty much showcasing this journey that our three main characters, along with this Yeti, take. And you come to find out that the Yeti's actually taking them to all the places the girl wanted to go on her trip. And she doesn't realize that till later. Which, she thought that was sweet of this Yeti to do. So again, you have this massive animal that has a cute, wide-eyed demeanor. And again, a little bit of the How to Train Your Dragon type of feel to it. Didn't make the box office of How to Train Your Dragon, but I thought it was a sweet, decent, harmless movie. And I thought it was well animated, some nice color schemes, especially some of the locations, whether it be this area with all these yellow flowers, where the Yeti also has some magical powers. So if it hums, or it can work with the environment, with nature, so they're able to get away, and the land of yellow flowers kind of move like waves of the ocean. I thought that was pretty nicely animated. Some of the earliest scenes in Shanghai and the other sequences of showcasing their journey, there are moments where our lead lady, she could play the violin, and that was a gift that her dad had given her. And the Yeti sees this and hums along with that and is able to change the environment. At one point, later on, there's all these purple flowers. It's a very nice, good-looking movie. The characters worked for what they need to be. There wasn't a lot of annoying jokes, as in there wasn't a ton of like puke jokes, shit jokes, piss jokes, milking jokes, like certain movies nowadays. Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, for example. And there's a decent amount of heart to it, which was sweet to see. I mean, maybe it's nothing breakthrough, mind-bending. Before the story's telling, it was accomplishing its goal, where again the girl realizing that she needs to spend more time with her mom and grandma, and that she missed hanging out with her friends, and so on and so forth. The violin playing, some decent music there. Some of the misadventures, whether it be them riding a giant dandelion to get from point A to point B, or some stuff seem, I don't want to say random, but there's a bit where the creature hums and there's blueberries made, and so they're able to eat it, but for some reason it can't stop. So the blueberries get bigger and bigger, and then they get bombarded with these giant blueberries that are smashing into them. I didn't notice anything political that they try to shove down people's throats, which was nice. Apparently, some countries banned the film because there was some, I guess, something on a billboard showing a map, and the map showed some kind of thing that some countries didn't like. That showed that maybe China owned these areas, but I don't know, it was so fleeting, and I could barely see the billboard that I honestly didn't see the big deal. Whether it got cut out or not, it was just so fleeting and so inconsequential. And there's stuff there for the kids. There's one of the things Eddie Izzard has, these rare creatures, is a whooping snake that goes up and makes these weird noises. There's this little mouse with big ears who, I didn't mind this twist, spoilers, where you think the female animal lover, she actually is the main villain. And she actually wants to kill it, or she wants to have it. She's actually a poacher. And then Eddie Izzard, the rich white guy, actually has a change of heart. He actually has a change of heart, and he's like, you know what, this creature's actually protecting these kids, and we should leave it alone. I thought that was kind of refreshing, because it didn't go the typical route. The evil rich guy, he's actually not that evil, and he's not that bad, and it's the animal lover who's actually the turncoat, and she's a two-timing bitch, and it's funny also that when she took her hair down, she looked like that bitch from Brave, which I wasn't a fan of that movie. So in my head, I'm thinking, that's the same character. It's not, but like, fuck you for that movie. Because Brave I did not like. If it's the film I'm thinking of, I did not like that movie, and she did look like that character, so I'm like, good. She deserves to be the villain. Fuck her. I was also surprised, I don't know, I mean, it's DreamWorks, it's a big budget movie, but because it was such a film that I never even heard of before, that didn't even know it existed, it was kind of refreshing that in a pivotal scene there's the song Coldplay did called Fix You. Light will guide you home, fix you. I can't even try. I'm bad at singing. The light will guide you home. Ba, da, 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 da. Fix you. I do a shit job. I apologize for that, but I really like that song. It was nice to be showcased here. Maybe a bit more could have been done with the drama elements. Maybe a bit more could have been done with her missing her mom and her grandma. It's pretty much she's hanging with her friends, and she then sees like a little picture. Actually, the Yeti gives her a picture, which was her and her dad, but she unfolds the whole thing, and it's like, hey, you have your mom and grandma as well. And the jokes, they're harmless, but sometimes it's kind of hard for me to get mad at this film, because like I said, it's fairly harmless. The older brother, because you have the older and the younger boys. I did like the bit where the older he gets cut off from the others, but then he has to escape. And then there's this little journey where the character's name is Jin, and he's streaming through. Like he's ready to get to the steep, but then the bikes rise off from him and gets fucked up. So he's running, and he's calmed down, and some crazy stuff happens, and then immediately cuts to him streaming, almost like his point of view going through. We see right behind him going through the jungle, and he's calmed down, and something else happens, and he's streaming right through, kind of this back and forth. That was a bit funny. It plays a lot better than I'm describing. Like I said, this is it's nothing too original. When you watch the film, there's definitely a familiar feeling of you've seen this before in a variety of other movies that just, in this case, it's a Yeti instead of a dragon or something else. It's nothing too deep in terms of crazy originality, but it serves its purpose in entertaining kids. As an adult, I wasn't annoyed by it. I wasn't irritated by it. It went at a good pace. It's an easy sit through if you're a parent and you watch it with your kids, and it's not trying to piggyback on a franchise. It's not trying to be an elongated sequel. It's not trying to be a lecture about anything or trying to force politics down your throat or gender politics or any other fucking politics. At least none that I noticed. And like I said, I like the twist on the villain. I thought the leads were not annoying. I thought the lead girl, she means well. Like, she's not trying to ignore her mom or grandma. It's just, she's just busy because she wants to get all this work done because she wants to collect money and hopefully go on this trip. But she's never bratty. She's never bitchy. She's never talking down to her family. Because sometimes they try to push that, and by doing that, they inadvertently make her unlikable at the beginning. I've seen other films do that. They don't do that here. And even with the Yeti, like, she gets scared, but then she gets some bandages, and she helps wrap it up. And the Yeti itself, thank God it's not one of those movies they gave it a voice. Because I think it just having the mannerisms of an animal makes it cuter. Same with the dragons, How to Train Your Dragon. Because sometimes studios try to force a voice into it. Either the star power or something else to that effect. There's not too much juvenile humor. Probably the only thing that came close was Jin during that scene I was talking about. He's drinking water and he turns and there's an animal that just left. And you could put two and two together what he did in the water. But it's nothing too egregious as in, anything of that. At least, again, that I noticed. Unless it went by so quick, I completely forgot about it. And I even like the bit where during the end credits the story continues via these postcards. So the movie ends and things work out well, but then if you stick with the end credits, once in a while a postcard will appear that actually continues the story, which is a nice touch. It wasn't something just useless or inconsequential. It shows that the three bonded more at home, that the Yeti was just a kid and he's with his parents, and things work out fairly well. So it's a sweet, heartfelt movie that doesn't reach the pinnacle of development like you see in Zootopia or very deep in terms of the heartfelt moments in Wall-E. It doesn't rank that high, not close. But like I said, for a film of this nature, pretty decent watch. This was easy film to watch. There was nothing really to get that mad or angry about. So, take that for what you will. So, I especially am surprised because it's from the director of Open Season, and I wasn't big on Open Season, not in terms of the animation and the character designs, and was it Martin Lawrence and Ashton Kutcher? I'm like, was it? I don't remember hating the film. It's just like, I definitely say I like this more than that. So, take that for what you will. But like I say, if you have kids, you want to see a new animated film, your kids, I think, will enjoy it, and you won't be that annoyed by it. So, with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.